2 years ago.
Hey, Kendrick, want to play a game?
Go for it.
Oh, damn, never mind. I was gonna say that I was going to order food, so it would be here by the time the game was finished. It takes about 25 minutes, and I was gonna say, you choose when I hit the order button, and let's see how accurate you can be
Oh my
predicting the end
God.
of the game. But unfortunately, apparently new orders are on hold because the area is busy, so that's
There we go.
annoying.
You're living in London now, aren't you?
Near London.
Near London.
Yeah, outside of London. Just a little nearer than before.
Which direction? North, south, east, west?
South.
South, in the dirty south.
The dirty south. Indeed. But yeah, my food. It's busy. No, I wanted food. Oh well, I'll find something in here. Unless it updates by the end. Hurrah! For now, though, it is going to be the Genji and the Tracer getting banned out.
All right, there we go. Hanzo once again is the first pick for KT. We're playing on Cursed Hollow, by the way, just in case you missed it, guys. So here's what I expected. Since this first game was going so easily for SPT, I thought they would take things to Brax's holdout and make it quick again. They've done so in the past already, but instead, they prefer to play it safely. And look at that. You don't even need to change up the pace. You just pick what works for you. And if it ain't the Bloodlust comp, then hey, the Muradin Dahaka is always a solid option for you to fall back on.
If it keeps working, then you might as well keep picking it. So we do see Muradin and Dahaka, as you said. Question is, how effectively can KT counter it, as this has started to become a little bit predictable?
Mm-hmm. Do you think we're going to see another Dragon Strike?
Not sure. I don't think so, but I have been proved wrong before, and they also have won with it before, so we will see.
You know what else I want to see at some point with, or from, by SPT, the Masters of the Bloodlust? I want to see a Zarya Graviton Surge.
They definitely have played Zarya before.
They did
So
it.
the Graviton Surge might not be too out of the ordinary.
Maybe we're going to see it here. They did play Triple Warrior with it. I mean, they didn't go Bloodlust with it, but they played the Zarya and were pretty darn successful with it. Garrosh, Decker, nothing out of the ordinary.
So then, with those heroes already coming out, Deckard Cain on the board, what is the plan here? How confident do they feel in terms of just having Hanzo, or just play? Who do they feel like playing against Dahaka? Yrel so far been ignored. The Malthael also a potential possibility of bringing something that can counteract that Dahaka.
Yeah, Yrel could be a nice ban, unless they have more information on KT and realize, you know what, they don't play Yrel that much, so it's probably not worth banning. I could also see a false step ban coming in, maybe, if they really, really, really wanted to go for another Bloodlust comp, or if they just wanted to make sure that the enemy team can't match the global aspect of Dahaka.
That's true. Not a good option there, but what are they going to go for? They're going to get rid of Yrel, so that still leaves open a Malthael, unless they're going to pick it. Mind games.
That is true. We have seen this before, where like games in which Malthael wasn't necessarily the main solo laner, but more like a rotator and more like a ganker, if you will.
What are they going for?
By the way, I fully agree with Imp138 in the chat. If anyone has a clip of that murderous wipe, as he says, feel free to tweet that out to us. We would like to share that and spread the word. You can use...
Stick it on Reddit.
Yeah.
Get some karma for you. Last clip that came on Reddit for HGC China was a lovely show of friendship, and it did actually get some attention.
There we go. So use it on the Heroes subreddit. Tweet it at us at Thatcher, at Kendrick Swish, at Heroes Esports. And we would love to share that with you guys.
So, with Maiev being the ban here, for solid reasoning, it sort of just annihilated them, quite frankly.
All right, here comes the Zarya. As a Maiev replacement, if you will.
You're a brave man, Kendrick, braver than I, to be willing to make that call. I would rather see what assassins they picked before I made any kind of prediction like that.
Now they're really taking their time this time. Tracer, I was going to say, is Tracer still available? No, it was banned by KT immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, no Bloodlust. I think we can all start breathing easily again, especially KT.
Auto-attack Malfurion is terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, if you go for the auto-attack talent level 1, you Moonfire them and just poke them to death.
That's true, I guess. Excellent point. Have you ever tried the Jaina auto-attack talent?
With Ice Fury 1 at level 7?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think I tried it when the hero was in the PTR and the talent was slightly
terrible,
working as not intended. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it would basically always trigger, not just when targets are frozen.
Fair enough. That's a little weird.
Yes.
Yeah, I tried it on Brawl, and even on Brawl, it was terrible. Where you're just consistently fighting.
Mm-hmm. Is there actually any mage in the game that relies on, or that you can play so that the mage will rely on auto attacks? I don't think there is.
Li Ming, Cannoneer.
I mean, Chromie, okay,
strikes.
but yeah, every mage does have auto attack talents. I just noticed.
Yeah,
every single mage: Kel'Thuzad, Kel'Thas, Chromie, Li Ming, Jaina.
Kel'Thuzad used to be a mage. Now he relies on auto attacks.
True, true. Speaking of Falsehood, there he is.
There he is. And a ETC. So solo laner ETC against Tahaka. More global countering. And speaking of Li Ming, there's
Li Ming. Now, Tetcher, we have seen this ETC as a bruiser / soul laner appear multiple times. And up to this point, I think is yet to win a game.
I think you're right.
And if it has won a game, then it didn't win any other games. Like the statistics on ETC played as an offlaner to match the global of Tahaka traditionally doesn't go well for Chinese teams. I'm not saying it can't be played at all, but in China, at least up to this point, it hasn't really done so well. So I wonder if KT can turn the trend, because I would love them to do this. So ETC receives a little bit more love than he currently gets. What do you think? Who's got the more convincing draft?
I mean, statistics say that SPT have the more convincing draft. Their composition works well, but I'm a sucker for the double global. And the fact is, it doesn't have to be double global. It can just be ETC holding down the solo lane and then sneaking in a mosh pit when no one expects it. I'm going to lean towards SPT, but I'm looking forward to KT surprising me.
Yeah, and the thing is, if ETC was indeed going for the maneuver you just highlighted, there's already a Li Ming waiting with that wave of force. So
put her in the mosh pit. It's fine.
Put her in there and make her dance. All right. So let's see which team is going to end our marathon of HGC China today with a victory, on a victory. Is it going to be SPT once more, walking away then with 3 juicy points? Or is it going to be KT going to get the tie with 1 point each then? Find her in the bit on the Cursed Hollow.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Cursed Hollow, there is a horse. Also, riding horses, it is SPT. No, they're not on horses. I tried. It's going to be Lucky on playing Phoenix. Burly C on Li Ming. Misaka on Muradin. Soap on Tahaka. And ZZH on Malfurion. And literally none of them are on horses. I failed so bad.
I love these openings from our observers. It's so creative. Every single time they give us something new. It used to be the Fisherman on Dragonshire. Then it was the Core with an Anubis face. I like the creativity today. Give this man a raise. Whoever's observing right now, give him a raise.
For now, we can see KT. They're in a little bit of a more grouped up start to the game. Only Falstad in top lane. Doesn't actually realize he's 2v1 probably. As SPT looked like they had no intention of fighting mid as they were against ETC Garrosh. Would have been far too easy to get countered.
All right, here comes the gank into the top lane. The roots are good, and Hope is almost falling to that triple onslaught coming in from SPT. Just barely not enough damage available from LADC. I really like the fact that we're seeing a Malfurion with that Li Ming, by the way. He's definitely going to take care of some of the mana problems that Li Ming sometimes encounters. We've seen that multiple times now on several assassin players. Look at that old school strategy as well, using Li Ming's ability from a great distance to basically chunk down those buildings. I remember back in the days when Li Ming was released as a new hero, she was so overtuned. She could take down those structures in no time.
That's true. She used to be able to do a lot. She also used to have a thing called Esvion, which means she could take down heroes in no time. It's literally one shot basically any hero on the roster once she hit level 13. That was fun.
If everybody thinks, who thinks like the most recent heroes who were a little strong were terrible, you should have played during that time with Li Ming at release. That was just nuts. It was crazy. But right now she's in a really good spot. I think if all heroes were balanced like Li Ming, the game would be in a perfect state, because I feel like she's neither too strong nor too weak. She just fits into certain team comps, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
Now that Timeless hovering around that bush, just playing it safe, waiting to see if Li Ming comes out, but like you said, she is playing safe too. Mercenaries being grabbed by both teams, grabbing their broods accounts. In fact, the support and an assassin doing that job.
All right, Garrosh throwing in that Siege Giant, so it's an easier target for Hope and himself to take down. Cute little play there. Now, let's see. The first tribute is going to spawn in the bottom half. That's the lane that Dahaka is currently in. He's probably going to licky sticky tongue one of those mercenaries, but denied by ETC with a quick face melt. So the mercenaries actually stay where they are for now. Those are the cute little interactions that really make these solo lane matchups so interesting to watch. And yeah.
It's a cute little trick. Very cool to see, but the Mercs will still go down. It was mostly just Dahaka tanking them as is. So it's not so bad, as it's a very slow start to this particular game. Neither team wanting to go in because they're both looking for them, and neither one is overcommitting for anything.
Yeah, especially KT, of course, needs to be very careful on how they engage, because if they lose this game, they're not gonna get any point out of this, right? So for now, it's for them to save that 1 point, to save their honor as well. His tongue misses, unfortunately, for So, but Hikari in a lot of trouble. The root connects. Stormbolt already used, though.
Hikari, once again, still in range to deny this, at least for the time being.
They're getting good value from the false in the top lane, too.
They are. They're soaking this. This is the idea. Delay, soak experience. Dahaka, though, is soaking experience in mid lane, so they're kind of just evening this out. So they really do actually need to attempt to get this.
But they do. Phoenix also went to the bottom lane to basically make sure that no minion just passes through without them getting the experience from it. Decker Kane doing so much work, though, with those potions. Scattershot also interrupts the channel process over and over again. Hape now starting to play a dangerous game, though. Can he stop it once more? No, he can't. Takes the Stormbolt to the face, and the Li Ming combo hits on the Hanzo as well, and that is first blood going over yet again to SPT.
And Timeless might become second blood. Timeless will almost certainly become second blood. No, tankiness is good. TWT keeping that Timeless alive.
Yep.
Garrosh hold the line for the moment, but they still lost the tower. They still lost the tribute. And SPT take a lead.
And Melody C is not done yet, playing his dirty Li Ming games. And although they took a casualty earlier, although they lost the first tribute, in terms of experience, they're still doing mighty fine. Stun comes in onto Hikari. He just power slides to safety, though. So far, I gotta say, Hikari impresses me quite a bit in that ETC with his super fast reflexes on when to use the face melt, for example, to deny certain abilities. Let's see if he can actually pull it through all the way until the later stages of that game.
Misaka takes a couple scatter arrows, not so bad at this stage in the game, as their simple geometry is not yet stacked. ZZH gets flipped in there, power slide directly into the root. ZZH gets face melted away. Hikari is delivered though, and he is delivered on time. Premium pass, warm in a box, and he is able to pick up that Malfurion.
For a moment, it looked like, from an observer's point of view, that Malfurion could have been able to pick up that potion. It basically was the perfect retreat path, but unfortunately, you cannot pick up potions from the enemy team, which would have actually been a fun gimmicky interaction, but also would render Decker Kane pretty much useless. Ooh, Misaka going in with another dwarf toss. Is he going to regret this decision? Dahaka coming in as a reinforcement, though.
Nice burrow, dodging the scroll of sealing, and Li Ming dropping in a lot of damage. Misaka escaping over the wall, but Hape giving chase. Good scatter arrow, picks up the kill. EDC looks to try and chase down Dahaka, but cannot reach. Surprise, Deckard! He gets delivered in, and now it is going to be Phoenix taken out. KT with the double kill.
The old man cannon. Kane delivery service, however you want to put it. A really good engage there by KT, securing themselves another tribute. That's actually their first one, my mistake. But Soap realized that this fight was none to be won. So he already rotated back to the top lane. He tried to make up for the lost experience. 3-1 now, the kill score for KT. Could this be the game in which they stabilize? They already look much more coordinated than those previous fights, but it all started with that beautiful pickup by Hanzo. Prevented Muradin from escaping. And then there we go, Deckard Cain into the face, slowing and rooting the Phoenix, and down he goes.
I have never seen a Deckard Cain used as an engage tool before. I quite like it in terms of without using his heroic or any of his CC abilities. So cool to see. ETC, speaking of cool to see, does go stage dive. No mind games this time.
Definitely safe to say that Garrosh did not respect the elderly there. Unless Deckard Cain asked for it. Maybe then he did.
Yeah, maybe he did his best Gandalf impression and just said, "Fly, you fools." Or make me fly, you fool. As Have takes the mercenary here. But Boss going to be pushing in, getting some good value. ETC with a quick face melt for the moment.
All right, the Boss is pushing in the top lane in favor of KT, and at the bottom for SPT. So experience is pretty much shared right now. Level 10 is here, of course. Li Ming still went for the Wave of Force, although ETC has not shown the mosh pit here. But as it is, it's still a formidable, disengage tool. It can also be used for more burst damage compared to the Disintegrate. So I like this call. And only Malfurion right now is still holding onto this heroic ability. Never mind, here it goes. It's Tranquility to basically deal with all that damage that KT can dish out.
So now, the pressure coming in here. It's KT burning through the side wall here as quick as possible.
Yep.
Not too bad. They're able to do that still with a little bit of the Bruiser Camp remaining, actually. With that other Bruiser Camp continuing to pressure the tier 2s, this is really working well for them. They're about to hit level 12. No talent advantage in time for this tribute, unfortunately, for KT. But they're still looking good otherwise, as Melody C is just getting chased down by time. The stage dive does not land. Quick route from Malfurion to punish that.
They really wanted the Li Ming there. The question is, can they interrupt once more? I don't think they can, Tetcher.
Nope.
Fabulous body blocking there by KT. Now the only chance for SPT is to clean house to prevent this push from happening.
Gust was good. Timeless taking a lot of damage though, but he's Garrosh. Tanks through it. Stay one listen, and KT disengage.
Wow, they disengage, not losing a single team member, although things start to get a little heated there. And now SPT, they need to quickly rotate. Middle fort is probably not to be defended, but top keep at the top towers, they need to be kept safe. And I think that's something they will be able to do there. But KT, they look like an exchange team. They're playing much more crisp, much more clean than in game number 1. And I think it's partly because of the map as well, because Cursed Hollow, it's a little bit larger. You can actually start a couple of surprise engages there, which is something they did. 13 is around the corner. Looking good for KT right now.
It is looking very good for KT right now as they continue to push in this mid lane, trying to put as much pressure on as they can. ETC, in the meantime, grabbing another fort, keep growing their lead. So now, what is the reaction of SPT? They're going to hit 13 eventually, but they're losing so much right now.
That they do in KT. They stole the Siege Giant camp as the icing on the cake here to keep their opponents occupied for a little longer. Now, Lucky, of course, providing additional damage onto the Siege Giants. The question is, how greedy, how aggressive are KT going to play this out with a level 13 advantage? ETC, in the meantime, still in the bottom lane, still keeping up the pressure. Basically makes Sahaka taste his own medicine here and what it feels like to have that global push against you.
But now, ETC has already backed up. He does not want to get caught out by Dahaka. As KT are just waiting for the next tribute, they would be more than happy if they can prevent SPT from getting the counter curse, which would be the most immediate comeback mechanic available to SPT right now, unless they're, of course, able to make a trap on the boss when that respawns.
Yeah, right now we're in pretty much a stalemate situation here right now. There is no objective available, right? Both bosses taken. The mercenaries are still in cooldown as well. So both teams can only posture up and maybe try to go for an ambush or just keep, the minion waves depushed so they don't really lose that much experience. It's always hard to make a move here. Usually the team that has more crowd control and more mobility available is trying to become the more aggressive one, right? The case here in this game, though, is both teams have pretty good mobility on their engagers, like ETC or Muradin, and both teams have pretty sick follow-up CC with the Hanzo Arrow, the Garrosh Taunt. So that is why the game is so patient right now. Both teams trying to make something happen while being careful at the same time.
This unfortunately does mean that the game will not pick up at least until the next objective spawns, as both teams just do mercenaries. However, luckily, the next objective spawns pretty quick. So we're going to have that pop up here. ETC, not going to rotate. He's here for the wave clear, at least for the moment. Li Ming sends a scouting orb into the same bush that Misaka is standing in, interestingly enough.
Well, let's see. Phoenix still a little isolated there. We see the Falstad Mighty Gust now. Could be one of those tools that could isolate someone if caught unaware. Already nice, look at Timeless. Strong position there, ready to zone out.
Moving far forward. Keeping his team safe, at least for the moment. However, it will be eating a fair amount of harassment. Dahaka and ETC, both playing the game of chicken. Both can interrupt each other's rotations. So
that is true.
I might just try it. SPT just going to grab the tribute. KT just give up.
They give up, and I think KT played this well in the end. They were trying to get an opening here. They couldn't find one, but now, of course, they have a major advantage. They just try to go for that 16 and maybe then initiate a team fight, right? 16 is a little closer for the red team, although SPT is trying their hardest to basically catch up. Boss is already Tetcher. There's another mercenary camp spawning at the bottom half, and the tribute, speaking of the bottom half of the map, is going to be there as well.
And it will, so this could be the double play here for SPT. That's what they're going to try and do here. Grab boss, grab tribute, get 16, win game, or at least protect, or at least delay losing game. As KT move
Falstad is on his way.
Falstad is on the Falstad gets destroyed. In comes the stage dive for the attempt to counter double taunt boss. Still aggro here. Stay a while and listen. Hikari steals the boss, but the dragon arrow. We're still going to see SPT look for some more kills, but they can't. They can't take the risk.
So the good thing about this play was they blew Falstad to pieces by anticipating his flight position. The bad thing about this play was they were so far away by jumping on, collapsing onto him, that they could no longer contest the boss pit with ETC knockbacks and Thrall stuns, Garrosh stuns. I'm not sure who got the better end of that trade, because Falstad is probably not going to make it there in time, unless he has a flight ready. So this could be a curse for SPT.
He used to get down here. Time taking a lot of damage. Surprise, Dahaka. Oh my god, that damage on Li Ming. Salvo comes out, gets a good spread onto KT. The bot, the tribute is taken by SPT. They have a curse, but what can they do with it? The boss is still pushing their tier 2s.
I was going to say, how much damage is that boss currently inflicting onto the bottom lane of SPT? Currently don't know, but I think the wall and the towers are still keeping it occupied. They're still slowing down the attack. They don't even bother defending at this point. They must be super confident in the keep now taking out the boss all by itself. And there we go. Boss is down and curse is still going.
Going to be able to get a minimum this fort. An XP lead will be taken by SPT thanks to this. Now the question is, what can they do? They're going to try and take down Timeless very quickly. Indomitable is used. Stage dive for the counter engagement. He's dropped incredibly low to sleep, only on Muradin here, as Dahaka comes in from the behind, preventing DKK from getting anything else. Hope is hovering around the backline.
They're trying now to go
gets
for Birdman.
The gust. Teleport is a quick dodge onto the ETC power slide. Now Misaka is just staying a little bit late, trying to bait everyone and at least delay so that his team can escape. Falstad falls to run away as well as Melly C tries to pick him off.
Alright, so pretty uneventful if you think about it. True, SPT got the forest here in the middle and the top lane, right? Equalizing the score in the buildings a little more. But if you think about it, I think that boss in the bottom lane did a little more work, especially since bottom lane could be one of those side lanes where if you end up getting catapults, you can buy a lot of time to distract the enemy team. Now, that one boss is still up for grabs. Misaka scouting it out. He needs to expect somebody to lurk in that Chinese bush.
He needs to, but the question is, does he? As they begin to put the pressure on. Timeless taking all of that plasma cutter. Here's the salvo and an unnecessary amount of overkill, but they're still able to pick him off, and that is important here.
And immediately they flip the switch here. They try to go for that boss, but look at the poke done here from KT. ETC doesn't have mosh, but still goes in like he had one.
Now the boss is being aggroed. Down goes the ETC. Risky play to try and move in here, like you said, without mosh pit. And this boss will be taken by S.
Oh! No way. Oh, no way.
Very slow. If that's the move you were going for, that was incredibly slow. As they got the gust and then nothing. They should have just barrel rolled straight away. If you're planning on making the play, commit to the play.
Exactly. If you want to be the hero your team needs, you better make it look good and fully commit to it. You barrel roll over the wall, and you then gust the people, and then maybe Decker King can actually drop a stay a while and listen as a support, right? But the way they did it, as you said, it looked indecisive, it looked slow, and not very convinced of their own abilities.
Slightly upsetting to see, but it's not the worst thing in the world, as we do see the rest of SPT pushing in now with this boss. KT are mostly respawn. They might try and end again.
Yeah. 30 seconds until Hanzo. A good combo by Li Ming. No mosh pit. ETC ends up falling again. And that's it, I believe.
I believe you might be right, as they're going to push in with the boss, and they're going to try and take down the core. Really nicely done. Very well played.
Very well played. They popped the bird once again. Not a good time for fall set players in that game. And now they're going to take down the core. They actually take a little nap as well, just because they can, and Decker Kane told them so. 2-0. Tetra SPT closes it out in very, very